Hey guys, what is going on? This is going to be a bit of a rant because I really need to rant. And basically the question is, why do I not sell on Etsy? Because I'm on print on demand, and obviously loads of people who do print on demand sell on Etsy. So why does Income Stream Surfer, why does Hamish not sell on Etsy? So currently I sell on TeePublic and Redbubble. In the past I've opened Society 6 accounts, Zazzle accounts, etc, etc. These are different things. They're completely different things. Okay, you have to understand this. So also Amazon, but not merch by Amazon, would be here. eBay would be here. Okay, etc, etc. They're just completely different things. Okay, and personally, for making money online in the simplest way possible, I like to sell on these print-on-demand, specifically print-on-demand marketplaces, okay? And there is one reason for that, and pause the video and see if you can tell me what that reason is. Okay, the reason is customers, okay? The beautiful thing about Redbubble and TeePublic, etc, are you don't have to deal with customers. Honestly, if you've never dealt with customers in e-commerce, specifically in e-commerce, let me make this clear at the beginning of this video. I actually really like people, and I love dealing with customers on the phone, and I love dealing with customers in person. But e-commerce has a really fundamental problem to it, which is delivery, okay, and packages. A lot of packages go missing, okay? There's probably billions of items sent every month. God knows how many deliveries there are every month around the world. There must be billions and billions and billions. So it's just obvious that some will go missing, but a really large percentage of them go missing. And you can Google the statistics. I saw an article in The Guardian the other day that was talking about how in Britain they're going to start to give more protection to customers and give more liability to companies like FedEx and UPS and whatever, which I think is a really good step in the right direction, because at the moment those companies don't really take responsibility. If something goes wrong, it's on you, okay? And this is the problem. So it's on you if you sell here, but if you sell on Redbubble, TeePublic, etc, it's not on you, it's on these companies. These companies have to pay for replacement, these companies have to accept returns, give refunds, etc, etc. That might affect you if you lose one sale, but you're probably not even going to notice it, honestly. Etsy and eBay and Amazon, not merch by Amazon. Merch by Amazon is here. Okay, let me just make that clear. Merch by Amazon is here, but selling, fulfillment by Amazon, whatever it might be, you have to deal with customers, and there's huge problems with that, okay? Clothing, for example, people order the wrong sizes all the time, okay? So then they return it, and then you have to deal with that. If you are doing print on demand on Etsy, and you send someone a t-shirt, and they have just ordered the wrong size, like an idiot, okay? You then have to accept this return and send them a new one. Do you understand what that means? That means you're gonna lose money for that. You're gonna lose money, basically. One thing you can do is you can set up a place near your house where you accept the returns, and then if someone else orders the same shirt in that size, you could then use a company like FedEx to send that to the customer. Okay, you could do that, but again, it's just an absolute nightmare. Honestly, most people they just eat this loss. Okay. So that's the first thing. The returns can be a nightmare, but then the other thing is you actually have to deal with customers, and there are so many Karens, okay? There are so many Karens in the world, and if everything isn't exactly the way that they pictured it in their head before they ordered it, they technically have the right to just return it. Okay. Also, wait, just before I go on, if a package is lost as well, the delivery people don't know this. I didn't know this. Delivery companies like FedEx, etc., they don't cover the entire cost normally of the product. They normally cover about 1/5 of the cost. So who do you think has to cover the other 4/5 and send another one or refund the customer? It's you. You are responsible for that. Do you understand what I'm talking about? People always make these videos about, oh yeah, make money on Etsy, print on demand. People don't think about these things, and it can cause huge problems. Another problem that people don't really think about is cash flow. Okay, so you have 50 orders, and Etsy doesn't pay you until the end of the month, until the 31st, let's say, and it's the 12th of the month. You then have to pay out of your pocket for all of these orders, okay, and then you then get paid by Etsy, okay. There are ways around this, so I'm just saying, if you're going to set up an Etsy, be extremely careful with how you move around your money, okay. You can use something maybe like PayPal credit, or I don't really know. I don't really want to give people financial advice, to be honest with you, because I've never done it before. But you can use some kind of overdraft, or I don't really know, I don't want to get into it. Think about it for yourselves to mean that you're not spending your own money, you're just spending borrowed money to then pay it back once it comes in. But then you also have to take into account the returns, okay? Customers are very, very fickle. And honestly, they will order something and then 5 minutes later they'll decide that they don't want it anymore. And they will say to themselves, oh, I'm going to cancel that. Or, yeah, I want a refund on that straight away, right? But let's say, I don't know, they decide 36 hours after. And by the way, people think that they can just write in there, this is another thing, I have to talk about this, guys, 1 second. So people think that just because you have something written, in your terms of service, right, that doesn't mean shit if what you have written in your terms of service is contrary to the law of a specific country, okay? Not financial advice, not legal advice, whatever the hell I have to say. But if you write, for example, I do not accept returns, okay? In the UK, it is your legal right to return something after within 14 days of opening the product, okay, for a purchase that you've made online. Just because you have written in your terms of service you don't accept returns, it doesn't mean anything, okay? And Etsy will side with the customer 99.99% of the time, because who's going to be more of a problem, the seller or the customer? It's obviously going to be the customer. Who do they want to keep more, the seller or the customer? It's obviously the customer. They don't give a shit about sellers, okay? They only care about customers. They have enough sellers. They care about sellers, but they have enough. If they lose some because you have written that you don't accept returns in your terms of service, and that's against the law of a country, or runs contrary to the laws of a country, who do you think they're going to side with? Just be honest with yourselves, guys. Come on, it's just obvious. So I don't want to attack any of my viewers or whatever. I'm getting a lot of this from the Etsy support group. I'm just there reading these horror stories, and I feel like I should warn people about what can actually happen when you have to deal with customers, okay? So let's say 36 hours after a customer makes an order, they decide they want to return it, okay? You've already printed, or not you, TeePublic, that's a really beautiful design, guys, I know. This is a t-shirt, guys. They've already printed and shipped the product, okay? And now suddenly they've just decided they don't want it. And the product is being shipped to, I don't know, like Australia, and it's being made in, I don't know, Europe, okay? It's now on a plane. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do in this situation? It's such a nightmare to deal with, guys. I'm talking from experience. I don't sell on Etsy, but I do deal with international e-commerce for the company that I work with. I'm a professional SEO, but I do a lot of the client stuff because I'm a native English speaker, and a lot of these people, they obviously can't speak Italian, and a lot of my colleagues don't speak English. Some of them speak good English, but some of them don't really speak English at all. So I do a lot of the client stuff as well, and there are a lot of problems with international e-commerce, just generally speaking, okay? So I'm speaking from experience, and I know for a fact that Etsy is even more difficult because you're less in control, okay? This is a really important thing. The company I work for doesn't have that many problems with this. There are a couple of problems every now and then, but compared to being an independent seller on Etsy, if you sell a lot of items, I know for a fact that you're going to run into problems, okay? So just be really, really careful when you watch one of these videos and they say to you, start selling on Etsy, start making $10,000 a month on Etsy. First of all, that $10,000 is revenue, okay? Etsy is going to take 20% of that, flat, or 15, I can't remember, it's 10 or 15. And then you're going to have to pay for shipping, and you're probably going to have free shipping on Etsy, otherwise you won't rank at all. So let's say, I don't know, if you're selling a t-shirt, probably about 10% even could be shipping. And then like the returns and everything that you're going to have to deal with, you're probably going to lose another 20%. Advertising, God knows how much you're going to lose to advertising. Honestly, I really don't know. But like, by the end of it, that 10,000 is not 10,000 anymore. I have no idea, but it's probably more like 2,000 or less. And then you have to pay for all the tools that they recommend that you get with their affiliate links. You have to, put all the work in. You have to constantly be dealing with customers. It's not passive income at all, okay? So that's just why I personally prefer something like TeePublic and Redbubble. Merch by Amazon, if I could get on Merch by Amazon, would be good. eBay is interesting to me. It seems like the eBay system is quite smooth compared to Etsy, just because it has processes for dealing with every single problem. Again, I think eBay normally sides with the customer, so that's something to take into account. But I think print on demand on eBay would be super, super interesting. Also, print on demand on Walmart, I also think would be super, super interesting. I don't know how that would work, but I'm seeing a lot of print on demand on Walmart. So just be really careful when you want to set up a business, because it's way more complicated than people think. This is what I've shown you in this video is probably like 5% of what you need to know before you set up an Etsy. Definitely, if I can summarize this video, think about your returns. Okay, give people a grace period of let's say 72 hours, okay? Because people will change their mind within that 72 hours. And you would rather, I will tell you right now, it's easier to lose the sale before the t-shirt has been created and shipped than it is to lose the sale after, or to lose the t-shirt after it's been printed and been shipped, okay? A grace period, it means a period of time in which a customer can change their order if they want to, okay? Or change or just cancel it, okay? Just say to anyone, write in your Etsy and make it work with Printful, Printify, email Printify, Gelato, whatever. Tell them you want a 72-hour grace period on all of your Etsy orders, okay? Just to try and avoid some of these problems, because most problems will appear within that first 72 hours. Another thing you could even consider doing is messaging everyone that buys from you and just confirming this is what they want, confirming this is what they'll look, this is what it will look like, confirming that this is how long delivery will take, and if they say yes to all of those things, then and only then ship. Another thing you need to think about is customers. Never, 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 never get angry with a customer, okay? It's really hard, I will tell you right now. Never lose your temper, and never give them a reason to, never give them a reason to really, make you look bad as a seller, basically, okay? Customers, the thing with customers are always right. You need to take that saying with a pinch of salt. What that saying actually means is customers always have the rights, or customers have more rights than sellers, or something like that, okay? When it comes to whether they actually want to buy what you are selling, customers will always have the right over you to go back on the sale, or to change their mind, or to get a refund, or to cancel it, or whatever it might be, okay? Doesn't matter what their excuse is, just roll with the punches, let them cancel it, and just say, you know, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Just always say it's your fault. I know, just say it. It works well. Praise them, tell them they're amazing, thank them at every opportunity you get, and you can build a business on Etsy. Okay, if you do all of the things I've told you in this video and many more things, you can definitely build a successful business, but it's a lot of work and it's not as easy as people make out on videos. Not this video though. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope this helps, because I've been guilty of making content saying get on Etsy, here's to set up your Etsy, blah blah blah, but it's a lot harder than people think. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you really soon with some more content. Peace out.